Sting reveals he may have suffered an injury during his insane ladder spot last night on AEW Dynamite. Britt Baker was pulled from her scheduled Owen Hart Cup tournament match last night on Dynamite due to illness. Swerve in Our Glory is reunited in the Blind Tag Team Eliminator Tournament. The latest Blood and Guts match has been announced. We've got a date and location for that. In addition to the Grand Slam editions of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage also being announced as well. MJF attempts to recruit a new best friend on AEW Dynamite last night. Jungle Boy Jack Perry addresses his heel turn at Forbidden Door, and an update on the AEW contract of Harley Cameron. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about Sting. The icon Sting himself is insane, apparently, considering some of the stuff he's been doing when it comes to spots during his AEW run. And last night was no different on Dynamite. The 64-year-old Sting continues to give his all for the entertainment of wrestling fans. On Wednesday's AEW Dynamite, Sting leaped off a ladder to send Sammy Guevara crashing through a few stacked up tables, prompting fans in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada to break out into a holy SHIT chant in appreciation of the legend. Ultimately, Sting and Darby Allin prevailed victorious in the Tornado Tag Team match when the latter locked in the Scorpion Deathlock to make Chris Jericho tap out. After the show went off the air, Sting, with blood dripping down his mouth, was showered in thank you Sting chants, which led Sting to repaying the favor by thanking the fans in the arena. No, thank you, Sting told the fans, before revealing that he got one of his teeth knocked out during the chaotic Dynamite match and was going to need stitches in his lip. It was worth it to do it right here, Sting added. Sting would end his speech by thanking AEW CEO Tony Khan for allowing him to push the envelope at his age. According to the fans at the arena, Sting also had high praise for Darby Allin, referring to the Daredevil as the greatest tag team partner he's ever had. For nostalgic fans of Sting, the final sequence of the Dynamite match felt like an ode to his illustrious career, considering that the icon performed his entire arsenal of signature moves, Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Drop, and the Scorpion Deathlock to secure the victory for his team. While the aforementioned table spot stirred up some controversy online, many appreciated Sting for putting his body on the line for the sake of the spot. There is now growing chatter of the rumoured Sting vs Jericho singles bout taking place at the upcoming All In pay-per-view, where Sting could possibly hang up his boots for good. The question is, guys, what did you think of the spot? Was it too risky? Did you cringe? Did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts on the 63-year-old Sting jumping from a ladder inside the ring, through tables and the outside of the ring? Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comments section below. Now, Britt Baker missed Dynamite last night as her partner Adam Cole did at Forbidden Door. Of course, Adam Cole was pulled from the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door event over the weekend due to an undisclosed illness, and now it appears his girlfriend is also under the weather as well. AEW President Tony Khan announced on Twitter that last night's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match between Britt Baker and Ruby Soho had been postponed until next week as Baker is currently sick. Soho, of course, was still in action last night against an opponent. No word on whether or not this postponement will affect any of the other matches in this year's tournament. Cole, of course, was pulled from a match against Filthy Tom Lawler on Sunday, much to the chagrin of fans and Lawler himself, who had been set to make his AEW debut against Cole and instead wrestled a dark match against Serpentico as a consolation. Lawler took to social media to say he was effing gutted over the cancelled match. While Soho and Baker have a scheduled match, it's not known whether Lawler and Cole will ever get to make good on their missed opportunities. We'll have to wait and see when it comes to that. Of course, we have the Blind Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, and it's certainly making for some strange bedfellows in All Elite Wrestling. The AEW Blind Eliminator Tournament teams have been assembled, and it appears that fate has intervened in the supposedly random draw of teams. AEW announced that tag partners turned rivals Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland will reunite as Swerve in Our Glory in a match against Darby Allin and AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy on next week's episode of Dynamite. The former AEW World Tag Team Champions disbanded on last year's Dynamite Holiday Bash special when Swerve turned his back on Lee during a would-be mediation that was hosted by Rick Ross. Since then, Swerve has been leading the Mogul Embassy faction alongside Ring of Honor World Six-Man champions Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Lee has been teaming with the natural Dustin Rhodes after Lee saved Rhodes from an attack by Swerve in February. Lee and Swerve were supposed to feud last year, but plans changed, and now the two have reunited before any significant match could take place. Time will tell if the bitter rivals will manage to coexist. Of course, the winners of the AEW Blind Tag Eliminator Tournament will go on to face the AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR for the World Tag Team titles at a later date. Let's talk blood and guts, because we now know when the next match is going to take place and where as well. The Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley challenged the Elite to a blood and guts match on this week's AEW Dynamite to end their ongoing rivalry. On Dynamite, the Young Bucks and Adam Page faced off against the Dark Order in six-man tag team action and came away victorious. Following the match, the Blackpool Combat Club, led by Jon Moxley, came out to the ring and ambushed the Elite. Moxley, along with Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Konosuke Takeshita, ambushed the Elite, while Eddie Kingston, who tried to help the trio, was also brutally attacked by the BCC. After the attack, Moxley seemingly hinted at ending the feud between the Elite and BCC by proposing a blood and guts match between the two factions to take place on July 19 at Boston's TD Garden. This has been a real blast, but I gotta tell you, it's about time it came to an end. It's about time we finished this, Moxley said. We have all pushed each other to our limits, and now we push beyond our limits. July 19, Boston, TD Garden, and just like someone once said, blood and guts. This will be the second year running that the Blackpool Combat Club will be involved in a blood and guts match, as they had teamed with Kingston and Santana to defeat Jericho Appreciation Society last year. Kingston may not be a part of the match though, as he'll face off against Evil in the G1 Climax tournament. So of course it's going to be interesting to see if Eddie Kingston is going to be involved in that match or not. Now, the Grand Slam edition of Dynamite and Rampage, the dates for that at Arthur Ashe Stadium have also been revealed. For a company that's barely 4 years old, AEW has already built up a bunch of annual traditions, and among them is the Grand Slam editions of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage at Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York. Later this year, AEW keeps the tradition alive by returning to the home of the US Open Tennis Tournament on September 20. AEW announced via Twitter that tickets for the special episodes will go up on Saturday, July 22nd. While last year's Grand Slam Dynamite was headlined by Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson in a match to crown a new AEW World Champion, the 2021 edition of the event marked the AEW debut of Danielson, who wrestled then AEW World Champion Kenny Omega to a time limit draw. The latter match is still viewed by some as the best match in AEW history. As such, Danielson has a history of stealing the show at AEW's Arthur Ashe Stadium visits, and could possibly do so again, provided he's cleared for an in-ring return ahead of the summer-ending shows. Last year's event also saw the shocking debut of Saraya, meaning the idea of another big name arriving in AEW this September cannot be ruled out too. The annual shows at Arthur Ashe Stadium have also proven to be a big money spinner for AEW. According to AEW CEO Tony Khan, the inaugural show in 2021 was attended by 20,177 fans, reportedly drawing $1 million from ticket sales and setting an attendance record for the upstart promotion. While last year's show saw a considerable dip in attendance, attracting little over 13,000 fans, the gate was reportedly higher than 2021 due to higher ticket prices. Speaking of annual traditions, AEW will be bringing back Blood and Guts next month too, and will presumably continue to hold other themed events such as Winter is Coming, Quake by the Lake, and New Year's Smash later on this year as well. So plenty of traditions in AEW at the moment. Now, MJF is attempting to recruit a new best friend. MJF had already made an appearance on last night's AEW Dynamite in a backstage segment, attempting to recruit a new bestie in Adam Cole, baby. MJF is looking to bond with his partner for the upcoming Blind Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, Adam Cole, after ambushing him with a friendship backstage at Dynamite. With Cole in a backstage segment with Renee Paquette, MJF sped up to greet the pair and pledged to Cole to make the best of their partnership. While MJF felt it was obvious Cole had more to gain from the tag team rather than vice versa, he still wanted to use the opportunity to capture the AEW Tag Team Championships. So much so, he revealed he had already had some tag team merch created featuring MJF's catchphrase "Better Than You" plus Adam Cole's signature "Baby" beneath it. Cole was pulled, as I mentioned, from Forbidden Door due to illness this past Sunday, but was back on the show tonight. However, of course, Britt Baker was pulled from her match due to, I guess, seemingly the same illness. So what are your thoughts on the latest development when it comes to the MJF and Adam Cole storyline? Are they going to be friends? Can they coexist? I guess that's the big question. Now, Jungle Boy is now a bad guy in AEW. He turned heel this past weekend. Jungle Boy Jack Perry made an appearance on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite to explain why he turned heel at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view on Sunday. In a promo segment at the top of the second hour of Dynamite, Perry revealed that he never wanted to team with Hook. During the segment, Perry called Hook a fraud and took shots at Hook's father Taz. He also made it known that he was still banging the hottest bitch in AEW, that being Anna Jay, as Perry said he was planning to take the FTW title from from Hook, the latter appeared and chased him to the back. Perry wound up escaping into a waiting SUV. What did you make of Jungle Boy Jack Perry's promo last night? What did you think of his heel turn? And what do you think of his plans to capture the FTW Championship moving forward? Finally, a bit of an update when it comes to Harley Cameron and her current AEW contract status. Since July 2022, Harley Cameron has been making appearances in All Elite Wrestling, and those only became more frequent after she was revealed as a member of the QTV faction earlier this year. Many questions have been raised as to her status in the company, and it appears there now may be some answers. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Cameron has put pen to paper and is currently working for the company on a full-time basis, although she has popped up on programming over the past several weeks with her fellow QTV teammates, both live and backstage. Cameron last competed in the ring on the March 24 edition of the now defunct AEW Dark, scoring a victory over Marifosia. Including that bout, Cameron has wrestled a total of 3 times for the company, squaring off against Willow Nightingale and Brittany J on July 16 and December 17 episodes of Dark respectively. Prior to working for AEW, the Australian native made her in-ring debut in February 2022 and has appeared in a handful of other promotions, including WrestlePro, Shine Wrestling, Coastal Championship Wrestling, and World Wrestling Network. Videos teasing the debut of QTV aired in February before it was revealed that QT Marshall was the driving force behind things and had aligned himself with Cameron, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Aaron Solo. A new member of the group was unveiled this past Friday on Rampage after Johnny TV, formerly John Morrison in WWE, blindsided Billy Gunn while Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed were entangled in a verbal exchange with Cameron. So there you go, Harley Cameron is a full-time member of the AEW roster. But there you go, guys, it's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.